Yo, guys. So, I wanted to talk about the fact that some people they just don't want to believe. I recently had a conversation with someone who reached out to me initially, and he asked me, "What do I do, etc., etc. How's that going? Can you actually make money in this industry?" And we had just a quick conversation, and eventually he started being a bit, I wouldn't say weird, but he started like saying things like, is it really worth it? Like all these skepticism questions, he started asking all of them. So what I did, what I tried to do is break that skepticism with showing results. So I showed one guy out of my network who made 40K at the age of 16 in one single month in the same industry, right? And I showed another guy who was making 100K a month. And when I showed those results, I did something very wrong. And that was that some people just don't want to believe. And that's what I realized with this guy. He, first of all, he wanted to get into the space, wanted to get to know a bit better, this and that. But eventually, he just, I don't know, man. Some people are weird as fuck. But some people you just cannot convince because the first step in the belief cycle, in the cycle of getting a belief to a certain result, is believing in it. And that makes so much sense. And he just didn't want to believe that people can actually make that much money in the space. And that's my biggest mistake that I made. I tried to convince this guy who didn't want to be convinced. And that's something I wanted to talk to you about because that's something I've been trying to do my whole life. Not my whole life, but 2.5 years since I got onto the path of, self improvement, working out, etc., etc., getting into the gym, business, etc. I tried to convince people that my way of living is the right way. But if I look back to how I actually got onto this path, it was not because I was convinced, it's because I got brainwashed. And the one thing that you have to understand is if you truly want to see someone change his behavior, what I did personally is I brainwashed myself. So I started consuming a lot of information about how how vaping is bad, how I don't know, not working out is for losers and that kind of stuff. I started brainwashing myself in a very extreme way, very extreme. But it got me onto the path where I just cannot leave. I just can't accept the fact that I'm going to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life. It's very extreme when I mention it like that, but it's true. You gotta make sure that if you genuinely want to change or change someone else, you have to brainwash them by constantly being there and constantly saying things. And something you don't have to do, what I did wrong, is immediately get to the chase and show the results because that's not gonna work, man. You gotta make sure you gradually build it up. So some people just don't want to believe. That's the harsh truth. You cannot convince someone who doesn't want to be convinced. So save yourself that time and don't do what I do. I just, yeah, wanted to give you this quick lesson because I thought it was very important for you to understand. Okay, I got some people that want to do this, etc., etc., but they're not quite into it. Don't convince them. They'll come later. If you stay in their bubble, in their social circle for a long period of time, eventually they'll be convinced. So I guess that's the lesson I want to talk about. All right. See ya.